Mr. Jerry Vaval. What's going on, bloody?
JTG.
What up, what up, what up, what up?
Let's welcome the people to another episode of Giant Fundamentals, the podcast dedicated to empowering men by tackling the vital issues of mental health. Let's start out. How's your mind? How's your body? How's your heart? What are you grateful for?
Man, heart, mind. I would say it's a work in progress, man. It's a work in progress. And sometimes people assume, I know with me, a lot of people assume that I'm good, that, oh man, Jono, you overcame so much. You have your mom, you have your dad in your life, all these things that you went through, blah, 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 blah. And you're here now. But I'm still reworking my heart and my mind based off of the things that I experienced as a kid. The traumatic things I would say I experienced as a kid. So it's a work in progress. I would say it's a bitter-sweet journey.
Mm-hmm.
The reason for that is it's bitter because it's like there's a lot of shame, there's a lot of guilt, there's a lot of embarrassment. It's like, dang, like this is why I do this. This is why I get defensive. This is why I'm dismissive. Oh, it's because this is a trauma response. Fuck. Damn. But then it's sweet because it's like now in real time, because of that awareness, I'm able to work on myself more intentionally. I could see in certain situations like, oh, this is a situation where I would have been hyper vigilant. It doesn't call for that. And I could recognize it now based off the work that I'm doing, based off the the realization. So and that's my gratitude in general too, is just the journey of life. Just taking the hand that you've been dealt and arranging those cards the best way that you can arrange them so that you can win the game of life. It has its highs, it has its lows, its ups and its downs, but man, I'm thankful for how far I've come and I'm thankful for where I'm going.
So, man, you said a lot. And a couple things. Well, the one main thing that came to my mind is I want to ask you, and I don't know if you even went through this in your therapy sessions, your own personal therapy sessions. How is that transition from being the outcast as the little boy, the vagabond, the one that was thrown away by his parents, right? Based on our culture and our society. And then now in adulthood being praised for making it through the mud. You didn't have any parents, you didn't end up in jail. You know what I mean? You're not on crack cocaine, you're not drug dealer. You know what you're saying? Like you've overcome so much and people are praising you, but at the same time, through your childhood, you were being undressed as far as like who you were as a person. So it's like, if you could just like kind of walk me through like what is that mindset shift? Like how does that feel? Because for me, it would feel weird, so to speak.
Yeah, that's a really great question. I would say it's a two-part answer. One is at first it felt good because now I'm getting the praise. I'm being respected. I'm being the one that is called on for difficult situations. Oh yeah, talk to my son, or talk to this guy here. He went through certain similar situations as you. At first it feels good, but as I start to realize that a lot of me getting to this point dealt with or deals with or is attached to my defense mechanisms, which is performing, which is a high sense of duty and responsibility. When I look at that, I feel on that end, I start to feel resentful. I feel bitter
Mm.
because I'm like, yo, like essentially I had to go way left in order to gain some sort of appreciation or praise.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're like living in the seat of performance, when you're living in the seat of trying to prove yourself, when you're like living there, bro, you're literally being dehumanized because we have not been created to always perform. That's not what we're created for. We're created for togetherness, for love, for acceptance, for community. I had to perform in order to be a part of that community. I had to perform to get the praise, to get the appreciation, to get the love. I had to perform constantly to get that. But it's like, it's not supposed to be that way. I'm supposed to just gain love just because I'm alive, because I'm me.
Right.
But when you experience childhood trauma at the depths that I've experienced it, being neglected, being abandoned, being the vagabond, being the black sheep, when you experience childhood trauma the way that I've experienced it, it's like, bro, you feel as if you're trying to find a way. You're trying to find a way to be accepted. And at the core of all of us want that, So that's why I say it's a two-part answer.
Now that actually kind of leads into my gratitude as far as like, I'm grateful that I was raised in the time that we were raised in. The 90s is probably the greatest decade in history. If you think of our transition and just things that I appreciate, growing up, like, it's like we had technology, but we didn't have it like the way we have it now. So we were still able to connect with people, and through that connection, we learned about good and bad energy and just being around people. Because when I see my kids and how they're growing up, of course, I'm always consider my generation better because that's just the way life works, right? But when I look at what they have to struggle with and how like certain human connection, they're just not like my kids are not used to just going into the neighborhood and just double dutching, jump roping, right? That was something we did every day. They might do it like they on spring break, they might do it this week, but it's like for us that was such natural and regular for us.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Very true, yeah.
Playing in the mud, playing what's that game we used to play on Mark and Joey blog? Was it like it's like cops and robbers? Yeah, and like manhunt,
yeah.
yo, and then when we all got bikes, I remember we all had like a bike club. We used to go to junior crib, and he knew how to do the pegs and all that. Like then when we got our cars, Winkins and all of them got their cars, and we racing through.
Yeah.
Had the car like we racing through 159th Street, doing reckless stuff. Dog, my dad would kill me if he knew what I was doing in the Camry. But it's like, and I'm like, dang, are my kids even gonna? Because now that stuff that I experience, they experience on social media.
Yeah.
To your point of like being performative is like now they have to create a highlight reel of life to show to other people to be accepted. Yeah. And if you're not doing nothing on your highlight reel, you're not doing nothing in life.
Yeah. So interesting because this week on spring break as well. Well, last week. And there's just too much TV watching, kid. Like, look, today there will be no TV watching. And bro, them kids, boy, my daughter, she's good. Like, she knows how to do things on her own. She'll do her little crafts. My son, he don't have TV. He don't be knowing what to do sometimes. Yeah, he don't have some TV or some type of video game. He doesn't know what to do. So, man, I told them kids, no TV. Kid, they played outside all day. Everything that we did when kids, they did. Like, go get the neighbors' kids. They sat in front of the crib literally for like 2-3 hours playing Uno. The basketball hoop, I put it outside. They're playing in the basketball hoop. So they're doing things. And so at the end of the day, I was like, so I asked my son, like, so how's the day? Like, he said it was actually really good, even though we didn't have TV, but we just stayed outside all day and played. He said exactly.
That's
So
all.
sometimes, I just be shutting things down, be like, nah, man, too much TV, bro. Too much TV. I wake up in the middle of the night, I see my son on his device at 2 a.m. I'm like,
Yeah, they fall asleep with it.
yeah, I'm like, no, that's not good for the development of the brain, dog. Like, I don't want to be like a tyrant or a stickler,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, because I used to take the device all the time. I used to
Right.
take it before they went to bed at night. But sometimes I just be tired. I don't want to do all of that, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm seeing the importance of it because, yeah, it's just not healthy for the brain. That human connection is lost too. We learned how to build relationships because of the time that we grew up in as well.
For sure. My heart is good. My mind a little flustered. It's one of those weeks where it's like, all right, I don't know. It's always maybe because I'm in sales and it gets towards the end of the month.
Yeah.
It's just trying to get deals, trying to make money, trying to afford your rent. South Florida, crazy.
Yeah, boy.
And I talk to a lot of my clients. They're struggling. So even being grateful in the fact that I'm struggling, but I'm still making it through, and I'm happy about it. Like I'm not. It's life, right? And then my body just. I didn't really. I went to the gym like one time this week, and I walked another day, and I didn't. I'm like, dang, this is the first week I didn't go to the gym at least 3-4 times a week. But then not beating myself up. Like, all
Yeah.
right, I'll go tomorrow. Like it's still eating healthy. I'm still practicing a healthy lifestyle, even though I'm not in the gym sweating like a pig. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to really like manage my eating.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I feel you because if you eating clean, then you're good because exercise is really just keep your body stronger.
Exactly, because I feel sexy this summer. I'm outside.
Yeah,
I'm
I
out,
was going to be outside.
outside. The wood, Joey. But let's go ahead and talk about basketball before you chop my head off like you did last time.
Yo, I think they already started. That they already started playing the games on NBC.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
So
fired that out this week. I saw a game. I was like, oh shoot! I saw them playing the game, NBA game on NBC. So I guess it started.
it's Sunday. Is it gonna be today too? Is it gonna?
Was this last Sunday? I don't know. There was a day last week for sure. I saw it. I was like, oh shoot, okay.
That's amazing. I definitely have to check that out. I saw like I'm not really feeling some of the announcers. I think Jamal Crawford is one of them.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, like he's gonna be like a sideline. Like they're building up certain people. Jamal Crawford was the main one, but he's cool because he did it for the Knicks, so I'm not tripping on that. But there was a couple names. I know Reggie Miller is gonna be one of them. Yeah, it's a couple names, and I was like, some are, they'll figure it out. It's new, you know what I'm saying? I'm just so used to like the Marv Alberts, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? The what's it do? Bang!
Mike Breen.
Mike Breen, that's ESPN. I think Mike Breen's ESPN, and Tarico, the black guy,
Oh, yeah.
those are ESPN. So I'm trying to see how NBC could compete with that.
That boy Tarico, that can't be having bars.
Dropping a mixtape during the game, huh?
He said he was in his bag, like he had fries at the bottom of it. I was like, oh, that nigga G.
Yo, he be talking down. He was like,
Wow.
man,
You know what somebody needs to do?
they
Dang.
probably already did it.
Huh?
They probably already did it.
You right, but we probably ain't come across it yet. Get this nigga Tarico's make a mixtape off his joint. Take all those things and put a beat to it. Dawg, that joint would be so hard, kid. Cause that boy, you get the bang in the background. Yo, that thing hard, kid.
He was like, he's so smooth, like one of the Migos, Offset. I was
Yeah,
like, what?
yeah, kid. That nigga.
That just be flowing, yo. You can tell he wanted to be a rapper, dog.
I know, right?
Basketball Nas.
Oh, kid, got me flowing.
Exactly. And it's also March Madness going on.
Yeah.
So, I'm a Duke fan. So hopefully that white boy could come through. Cooper, was it Cooper?
Yeah, he got hurt.
Oh, he did? Damn.
Yeah, but I think he's playing now. He had ankle sprain, like
Oh,
right. that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the other.
I don't know how true this is. Nah, that can't be true. I feel like I heard rumblings that he may stay another year in college.
Yeah, he might say he loves it, and he's
Mm.
getting paid.
And
Paid like
yeah, you get the NIL, so
he's
dude, you know I'm a Dookie fan. If it's not Duke, it's UM.
Yeah, same. Same, but trash. So
Yeah,
yeah, he might stay because he loves college. Like, I mean, he's the coolest white boy in the world right now. So he's like
vibing.
he vibing, and he has both his parents support him. Like, there's no reason for him to. It's not like he's basketball is becoming a rich man's sport now. So
Yeah, bro, it's crazy.
a
Dog.
lot of us black men who we had to jump to the league because our families we were getting paid under the table in college.
Yeah,
And the family, you want to take the family out of the hood.
middle school. Some of these niggas.
Yeah, early. And so now, when you come from when you have affluent parents and you come from that neighborhood, the suburbs, you don't have and you enjoying college. There's no real reason to make that to make the jump to because as a rookie, you're not going to be a phenom like that. Only LeBron did that, really. So
Yeah, only one like in NBA history that really came in and 100 million out the gate.
yeah,
Yeah, so but again, look at the circumstances he came from. You know, that generation, that era is done where you know, getting into the league because you're trying to provide for your family. Now it's the rich kids, you know, that are getting into the league. I wonder what that's gonna do for the competitive nature of the sport though. I wonder what that's gonna do.
I wonder what this because what I like about Cooper, he got that dog in him. That
Yeah,
boy be
yeah.
he played in the park. I could see it in him, but I think that's just I feel like some people have that from their parents, like epigenetics, like
Yeah,
certain
I think
things
so.
could be
Yeah.
passed down. But overall, to your point, I don't know. I don't really know because a lot of people in the league feel like the league is soft. You know, like everyone has a trainer, everyone's doing drills.
Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, you're never gonna be able to X out intangibles.
Mm.
Because if you think about it, these gist that are coming out, you have Gilbert Arenas' son, fucking
Mhm.
baller. That shit don't pass for nothing. You know that's Gilbert. Yo, he don't pass nothing.
That
Gilbert,
boy, how you carrying generational ball hogging?
kid, that shit don't pass for nothing. Gilbert Arenas, he said he put him on that team on purpose, because he wants him to learn how to do everything on the offensive end. Like you got to learn how to carry a team if you're going to be an all-star, you know, in the league. But you have Gilbert Arenas' son.
The
What's up?
Carlos Boozer twins, they just won 4 straight years. They retired their jersey 4 straight years in South Florida state titles.
Oh, you see, okay, I forgot about them. So the Boozer sons, and then you have Trevor Ariza's son, and then you have Kyan Anthony, Carmelo's son. So I'm like, yo, there's a crop of former NBA players, kids that are coming out. That I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, they're all very talented, and the thing that's gonna separate all of them is the intangibles.
Don't forget Stojakovic's son too. He a beast.
So you know all them bitches. You wet. I said, Donovich.
Yeah, all of them kids. Stojakovic's son be dropping like 37 points. He wet. He
Yeah.
got it.
But the thing about what's going to separate all of them are the intangibles, and I feel like that's just life in general. You know, ball is life. So I feel like everybody in the room could be talented, but whoever has the most grit, whoever has the most fire, the intangibles, those are the ones that they at the top of the heat.
Yeah, man, and that's for our women listeners. I didn't want to say female, get my behind jump, but for our women listeners, if you definitely want to see what type of man you have, especially if you're dating, take them to go play basketball. Because niggas live life how they play ball.
Oh boy! Oh my God, yo! Ooh, I've been getting so tight on the court, boy. That's how I'm putting this no more, dog. Can't.
Exactly. So I want to go to our next segment, our mental health music segment at Eminem. I'm brought to you by me this week. So I definitely was in my feelings a few days ago, and I was listening to Music Soul Child, Teach Me
Oh,
How.
oh,
Teach me how to love.
Yeah, that's a joke.
Woo. So I was, sometimes we have songs when we were younger, we used to sing, but I was like, yo, when I really listen to the words, I'm like, oh, wow. I didn't even, this dude's dropping gems. So literally, the song starts out, I was told the true definition of a man was never to cry.
Mm,
Work till you're tired, got to provide.
mm,
Always be the rock for my fam, protect them by all means,
mm.
and give you the things that you need, baby. Our relationship is suffering, trying to give you what I never had. You say that I don't know how to love you, babe. Well, I say, show me the way. I keep my feelings deep inside, I channel them with my pride. I'm trying desperately. Baby, just work with me. Teach me how to love. Show me how to surrender my heart. Girl, I'm so lost. Teach me how to love. How can I get my emotions involved? Teach me. Show me how to love.
Dang. That nigga. You see, you can't appreciate that. There's no way we could have really appreciate that as kids. Because when you
No,
go
nah.
is when you start to have more life experience, dog. You get a relationship. Oh, dog. I ain't gonna lie. That. Oh.
When I text you, I said I got it. I was like, especially based on our topic, I was like, I got it.
Yeah. Yeah, dog. That was a heavy one. That was a heavy one, man. That was a
Yeah.
heavy.
And it got me emotional when I was listening to it because I was like, dang, like he's doing everything right based on how he was taught. Like he's like, I'm trying to provide, I'm
Yeah.
trying to do this. And it's like I've been there where your woman is sitting there like, yeah, nah, I love you and I know you love me, but you're not loving me.
Yes, dog. Yes.
And it touched me because it wasn't until I had a short relationship with a girl that like she brought that out of me. She showed me how to love her and she calmed me down, right? Even to the point where she used to do this thing where she was like, damn, what she used to do? She would be like, when I would talk to her and I'm expressing, she was like, hey, gentle, gentle. And I'm like, it would just always catch me off guard. I'm like, I would never took it as disrespect, but I was like, oh, damn, my bad, babe. Like, I'm like, dang, it would soften me up. But it's like, I could understand sometimes as a man, some women don't have the patience to like teach me how to love, right? Like show me how to surrender my heart. I don't know how to be vulnerable in that way to open up and be mushy with you. You know what I mean? Like I was told, make sure the lights is on, everybody got AC, gas in your car. Like that's it. Boom, boom, boom. Even that's how I make sex. Boom, 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 boom. Like everything. You know what I'm saying? Like let's go. Like
Yeah.
let's check the
Yeah.
list. And then
That's crazy. You're right, dog. This, yeah, this is, yeah, yeah, bro. It'd be tough because you think you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do and what's needed as a man,
yes.
but for so many of us, bro, we be missing the mark. It's like we're doing all of these things, but we're not making our hearts available to our partners.
Yeah.
And it's because we don't know how to do that.
Mhm.
It's a foreign concept. Bro, we weren't taught that. We weren't given permission to be that way. Soft and mushy? Oh man, yo.
Mhm. And then look, I'm just gonna I want to give you to
Man.
your
And
point.
Bernie Mac. Oh Lord.
Oh Lord, America. Yo, to the point where he was like in the song, he's like, how can I get my emotions involved? Teach me how to love. I was
Mm,
always taught to be strong. Never let them think you'll care at all. Let no one get close to me. Before you and me, I done shared things with you, girl, about my past that I never tell no one else. Just
yeah.
keep it to myself. Girl, I know I lack affection in expressing my feelings. it took me a minute to come and admit this, but see, I'm really trying to change now. Want to love you better. Show me how. I'm trying desperately.
Yeah, bro. I'm man, this all right. So there's this one of our posts on Instagram. I saw someone liked it the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to go on there and say a comment that I saw.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about this topic right here. So you started to talk about how Shaq and Country Wayne they were having an interview. Shaq was interviewing him or whatever. I don't know.
Yes.
We're talking about like, you don't show women, that that you're hurting because when you do that, they're gonna turn it against you. All these different things, right?
Right.
And then someone in the comments section, they say, as I always say, there are a small percentage of women that you can open up to. Unfortunately, that's far and few between.
Mm-hmm.
Risk just does not outweigh the reward. Find your men, find your men in your circle to have these conversations with. So it's like this is how a lot of us men are thinking. It's like there is a fear there
Mm-hmm.
to really be open and vulnerable with the women in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting because it's like most of us have closer relationship with our moms.
Yeah.
We get into relationships, it's like there's a wall there, man. I just started working with this one man. Like it's like, yo, his girl broke up with him because, well, several reasons, but one main thing is just that he never lets her in.
Yeah.
But then there's a fear I've heard too, like, yo, the man let the woman in, and then later on she's throwing it in his face. So it's like, yo, it's just all fucked up, bro.
Yeah. It was one quote from a guy, I forgot who said this. He was like, it was something I was watching in passing. He was like, man, it's unfortunate, but sometimes you feel like your mom is the only woman that really loved you.
Damn, see, shit, I didn't even get that, nigga.
Yes. Exactly. So, and
Yeah,
it for for the men out there, because we're logical thinkers, right? It's just like success in business and life. You have to fail, but you only have to be right once. And a lot of times, that fear of failure, that fear of letting that woman in, I understand it's hard.
yeah,
No one wants to go through heartbreak.
yeah.
I mean, nothing makes a man change faster than heartbreak anyway.
Yeah.
But you only have to find one woman that you can rely on. And yes, you are going to make some mistakes. You are going to open up to the wrong female every once in a while. Yeah, there are women over there that are going to hijack conversations and use your use your vulnerability against you. But that doesn't, to me, that risk does not outweigh the reward, because when you have a woman that you could actually open up to
Yeah,
and feel that security, like that blanket, like your mom did,
yeah,
to me, that's irreplaceable. You can't,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
What are you thinking?
I'm just saying that's this. I'm just contemplating. I'm honestly, I'm just waiting for the podcast to be over so I can go listen to the song myself. They hit it with the Music Soul Child that day. Music Soul Child was my joint. I mean, he had that song. La 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 la.
Yeah.
Yo,
Don't.
yo, you said,
Listen to it in that. Listen to "Teach Me," so beautiful. Bud. Listen to it in that, or you're gonna be like, "Dang, that was
that nigga Music Soul Child, spiritual kid.
spiritual." That's why he said one of his songs. He had a song, "Love." Oh man, he said it was a gospel song. He made it as a gospel song at first. So, like, talk about spiritual. Like, it was supposed to be Lord, really, but things
That dude was hard.
fade.
Yeah, I'm about to go on Apple Music and put Music Soul Child Essentials.
And vibe. Exactly. Definitely want to go to like a concert of his. Like, that's on my bucket list.
Yeah, me
But
too.
another reason why I chose this Eminem, kind of like what I mentioned earlier, was the main topic for today that you wanted to bring up. I think this was a small piece of it. You wanted to talk about deregulation and how we as men, a lot of us men, are deregularized. if that's even a word. I just made that up right now.
Yeah, I be letting you ride with the words.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna add it. This day and age, I could just put it on Google and Webster take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that when people be saying comfortability, that was never a word, right? That became
Guesstimate wasn't neither.
guesstimate. I didn't even know guesstimate. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. My ex used to say it all the time. I was like, bro, like we used to fight all the time, and then 2012, it's a word. I'm like, the hell. But if you could talk about like, what do you mean by deregulation? What is it? What is that?
Yeah, so we're mainly talking about emotional dysregulation.
Mm,
That's what we're mainly talking about, and dysregulation in men.
mm-hmm.
Bro, a lot of us don't recognize that we are walking around dysregulated. So that's why I wanted to bring this topic. So pretty much it's an intense, difficult to control, it's difficult to control emotions. You have frequent mood swings, impulsive. You have it's challenging for you to manage stress, and most of the time when this is the case, you find yourself abusing substances, whether it's drinking too much, smoking too much, having sex too much,
Mm.
gambling. So all of these things come into the picture because you're trying to regulate your emotion. You're trying to regulate yourself emotionally.
So, man, so many things are running through my mind. And you brought up how it looks. Sometimes it could be drug addiction, gambling addiction, sex addiction, or whatever. Those realms. Is it a situation? It's funny. What comes to mind is a lot of times we look at women and say, "Oh, they can't control their emotions,"
Yes. Yes.
because stoicism is something that, as a man, being stoic, we praise ourselves. Oh yeah, he's so stoic. But can't that be a version of deregulation as well?
Yes. Absolutely. Definitely. So a part of dysregulation, one of the dangerous things, and specifically when it comes to men, one of the dangerous things or dangerous signs when a man is dysregulated is suppressing his emotions. That's one of the most dangerous things.
Mm,
So we can think like, yo, I'm just trying to stay even kill, I'm trying to, be whatever. But when you're detaching yourself from an emotional situation or emotional conversation, when you are avoiding these conflictual conversations with your partner or even with a parent or a family member, when you're avoiding these things, you're dysregulated because
mm,
that means you don't know how to handle the nuanced stress in that situation. And over time, it develops into not just mental health issues, but physical health issues as well.
yeah.
And definitely, most definitely, it impacts your relationships in a very unhealthy way, whether it's romantic, friendships, career, colleague relationships, it impacts them in a negative way. So,
Yeah, that's very tough for me. I don't even, it's one of those things where, how did you even work through that? Because growing up, I don't, first of all, not only are we black, we Haitian.
yeah.
Like when we have a lot of different men that listen to this podcast from different West Indian cultures, and we have American raised, like African American men who listen too, and just understanding both cultures, like African American men, they had more subtle love in their households. They had the neighborhood boys who would be like, "Yo, toughen up" or whatever. They probably had a dad that probably was like, "Yo, don't cry, don't cry over no bitch and nothing like that. Don't be no bitch ass nigga." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I felt like there was also different people in their family that kind of like helped them work through different emotions, like would praise them a little bit, say, "Oh, don't keep your head down, keep your head up." You know what I mean? Little Tupac, you feel me? But in our situation, in the West Indian, the Caribbean culture, specifically Haitian culture, just speaking from my example, I don't have a time where anybody in my household told me how to regulate I didn't see regulation in my household when it came to emotions. So like I don't even know how to like I try to help my kids navigate through that and I feel crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you said, it's something that wasn't necessarily modeled to us because a lot of us grew up in homes where there was verbal abuse.
Mm-hmm.
That's a form of dysregulation. There was physical abuse.
Mm-hmm.
That's a form of dysregulation. We've been victims of bullying, teasing, whether you are on the giving or the receiving end. All of that is dysregulation. You don't know how to manage your emotions. And the core place that it comes from, as I'm mentioning, the physical, the emotional, the verbal abuse, the dysregulation starts when you experience adverse childhood experiences.
Mm.
That's where it starts. It's like you're in an unsafe environment. And for those who don't know what adverse childhood experiences are, ACEs are, is the things I just mentioned. You're neglected. You've been neglected. This kid's calling me. You've been neglected. You've been abandoned. You've been verbally abused, sexually abused, assaulted, grown up in poverty. All of those different things. Those are adverse childhood experiences.
See, even now, like having your phone go off, the
Mhm.
Haitian in me is like, what? Why your phone not on? Put on the vibrate.
It's not even my phone, kid. It's the laptop.
Laptop, but that's like I'm already trying to chop down your neck. It's not even that serious, but
Cool, come on, you talking to the king on that, nigga. So
you know what I'm saying? Like I have to now. I have a back in the day for those car enthusiasts, those cars were usually made like the cars in like the 60s and 70s, even some in the 80s. Cars had a governor,
Mhm.
right? So the governor was on these old cars to help the car like move in a moderate level, regulate. So the motor wouldn't get too hot. Like you wouldn't overheat your car. It would govern the car so that your car can ride down a certain way. So I use that example to say, like now, because I've been practicing my mental health and building myself up, I can govern my emotions. I can regulate them. I can be even killed and be like, hey, it's not that, yeah, we're recording a podcast. But it's not.
Okay, so that's the thing. That's another thing about being dysregulated emotionally is the punishment never fits the crime.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, yo, let's you know how you were legit. Let's say you spill something,
Uh-huh.
and then your dad is like, "Hey, why you did that? Why did that?" And he's trying to whoop you for that, like just come and just beat the living hell out of you because
Yeah.
you're on the ground, right? So now what that does is that puts you in a state of fear and anxiety. So now
Mm-hmm.
you're always walking on eggshells, and then you grow up with that same type of energy with you, and then that's how trauma is passed down from one generation to the next, or let's say values are passed down from one generation to the next. So of course, these are good values, right? But then now when you get your kids, it's the same thing. Like, hey, why you spill this? Why did it's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? So that's a part of being dysregulated. Is like, let's say as a parent, let's speak from the parent. It's like, yo, you're punishing the kid for this, but it's not that big of a deal, bro. I've been going through this. Like, it's been hitting me like literally like let's say this past week.
Mm-hmm.
God, the kid be leaving things everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yo, why you leaving your clothes everywhere? When you finish taking a shower, all you gotta do is pick up your clothes off the floor, bro.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking in my mind. But then when I take a back seat and I take a time to say, I'm like, what was I doing at 8 years old?
Mm.
Like, was I so orderly and so cleanly? And no, I wasn't. That came from a place of trauma because again, when I said in the beginning, the performing is like, oh, I gotta make sure the performing and the perfectionism, like, okay, I gotta make sure this is good so nobody can say anything bad about me.
Yes.
I'm like, oh shit, I'm passing that down to my son. Oh fuck.
Mm.
Okay. So now I'm looking at it, I'm like, all right, he has clothes on the floor.
Mm.
Only 8, dog. Like he just want to play.
Right.
But we weren't given that opportunity. I wasn't given that opportunity to just be a kid and play as a jit.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on here?
Yeah, you dysregulated right
Yeah. But so I wasn't given that opportunity to play as a kid. So it's like I'm unconsciously passing that down to my son. I'm like, yo, kid. But that's the dysregulation. It's like the punishment doesn't fit the crime.
That's crazy because there's a lot of things that I did as a kid just so I wouldn't get a beating.
Bro, yo, I connected with one of my boys. Like I randomly we went to college together, and he's here in Orlando. I heard he was here, but I didn't know. I never met up with him. But I ran into him at Five and Below. He has a son. His son is 5.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, the doctor is saying like he has an issue eating. Like the son don't like to eat. He'll go a couple of days without eating. I'm like, what the hell?
Wow.
Yeah, and he's only 5. So I was asking him, I was like, yo, were you like that when you were a kid? And he's of Haitian descent. He actually grew up in Haiti. He was like, you know what? If I was like that, I would have never known because I knew if I didn't eat, I'm gonna get a beating.
Yeah.
So it's like everything is fear. Everything is performing. Like you just gotta do just to, just so you don't get in trouble. So
It's crazy. Man, you said a lot. And I have an example because you talk about from the parent to the child, but also I want you to, once I give you the example, talk about parent to parent, right? In a marriage, in a relationship. So I have a friend where she's married and the sons, she has 2 sons. The sons they play video games. They're playing their PS5 or PlayStation, whatever it is. I'm not big on video games. PlayStation 4, whatever. Come to find out, the fuse burnt, like the PlayStation caught on fire. They were playing it caught on fire, right? So she's telling her husband, like, yo, the PlayStation you bought the boys, it caught on fire, like, just letting you know when you get home, whatever. I guess she's trying to regulate him, if so to speak, right? So he's like, okay. He takes the PlayStation to get fixed. It can't get fixed. He has to buy a whole new PlayStation. Mm-hmm. Now he wants to go and yell at the boys because they always eat in their room. This sounds so Haitian. Because they always eat in the room and the PlayStation don't work. So she's like, okay, the PlayStation blew up by no one's fault. It's a technical issue.
Yeah.
But yet you want to penalize the boys for the PlayStation blowing up by saying because they always eat in their room.
Yeah.
So like you said, the punishment don't fit the crime, but like how as a partner, how can she navigate that dynamic? Because she's like, man, I don't know, Jerry. It's just like now we're arguing because now it don't even make sense.
Yeah. It's tough because one of the main things about regulating yourself emotionally or the inability to do so is your challenge on managing stress. So stress was put into the situation by the boys' PlayStation blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
And that was stress for the father because it's like, yo, I'm out here busting my ass. I'm trying to do this and that and that. Now you telling me I gotta go get this PlayStation fixed. Oh no, it can't even be fixed. And I gotta buy another one for you guys. That's stressing him out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The result, it just ends up coming off between him and his partner. It's like it's just an awareness that you have to have, right? And that's where the openness has to. That's where the openness has to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's be open with each other. That's why I always tell people, man, I ain't gonna lie. I think parenting classes are very important because I think a lot of us don't recognize, and I think one day I'll do that for fathers for sure. Like, I don't think we recognize that a lot of our parenting, we parent from a place of stress.
Yeah.
Parent from a place of anxiety. So I don't even know how to tell the woman, like, how does she deal with that? I can't really say how, but I think just having the awareness and just trying to be soft with him. Like, it's not a deal, whatever, or we'll take care of it. Or, you just have to be able to talk through it. But I think understanding what's happening, because it has nothing to do with the PlayStation.
At all.
It has nothing How many beatings you got in your life where it had nothing to do with what you did, but the stress that your dad was experiencing outside
If
the
I
home?
had $1 every time, kid,
Mm.
Elon Musk. I'll have Tesla money if I had $1 every time. Like
Yeah.
I mean, there were times where because he had a bad day in his business, I could tell when dark was it doom and gloom?
Yeah, that energy.
Yeah, that energy's coming through. And
Uh,
it's funny, right? You got to take the good with the bad because now I can recognize that energy in people just naturally. But if people ask me like, "How do you know?" I'm like, "You don't want to know how I know," because, like you said, the anxiety. Like when my dad was coming home, if you heard his brakes, if the whistle, he used to always whistle, and the way his keys, because he used to have a lot of keys jingle on that door. If you saw how like it's scary how us used to like it was like roaches.
you guys just said it like roaches.
Like, yo, turn the TV off. Like, did you clean that pot? And then
Maybe off.
we run and we trying to do like the time lapse in the iPhone
Mm-hmm.
that it lapses like 8 hours into time into 8 seconds. That's how we look in the house, like, and then he's coming in and he's like, "What's going on here?" And then it's like, "Nothing." And then I'm in the corner reading the Bible, like, you know what I'm saying? My sister over there, she's knitting. She don't even know how to knit. She's knitting. We have to look like perfect children and
And
then deal with if he had a good or a bad day. You know what I mean? If he had a bad day, something is gonna get done. Like, oh, you
yeah,
didn't wash this dish. So
yeah,
he had a
yeah,
good day. He's gonna
yeah,
turn on the TV. He's gonna get ready. He's gonna go to the casino. He's gonna do something.
yeah. And I want to say something to that too, for my men out there who have spouses, who have kids, who have a family.
Mhm.
Bro, check yourself before you come into the crib, man.
Mhm.
Check yourself before you come into the crib. The reason why I say that is because, we are dealing with a lot of stuff as men.
Mhm.
Dealing with a lot, bro. Having this mantle, I don't say mantle, but having this, man, it's just this
That
weight,
pressure. No, wait.
pressure all to perform or to provide and to protect and be the leader of your home. It's a lot, man. Oh, listen, I understand. I get it. It's a lot. But in the grand scheme of things, when
Mhm.
the rubber meets the road, when you're in the twilight of your life, the only thing that's going to really matter is your relationship with your partner and your kids, bro.
Mhm.
So I always try to remind myself, don't. I'm not perfect at it, but I try to remind myself, like, don't allow bills,
Hmm.
don't allow debt, don't allow financial setback, don't allow those things to become a wedge between the love with your partner and your kids, man.
Mhm.
And it's like this is where mindfulness comes into the picture,
Yeah.
where meditating comes into the picture. Because when you do that, you're able to keep the main thing the main thing. And a lot of men, I know there's some men right now listening. You have ruined your families
Mhm.
because you've been chasing money, status. You've been chasing a certain uh perception.
Mhm.
Like you've been chasing all these things and you don't recognize that you're chasing these things because you want to be accepted. You're chasing these things because you want to be loved.
Mhm.
Bro, you got it already.
Yeah.
You got it. You
Yeah.
got the woman. You got the kids. You got it already.
Mhm.
But we don't recognize that we're still on this chase and we're ruining our families as a result, man. So that's why I say, we got to really check ourselves at the door. And I'm talking about literally, you come from work, stay in the car for like 20, 30 minutes, do some deep breathing, listen to a song that makes you happy, that makes you feel good. Like
Mhm.
shed all that energy you had at work that was boggling you down. Shed it before you walk into the crib, man.
Yeah. Don't listen to no G Unit Yeah, this ain't time for many men. You know what I mean? Listen to some music, Soul Child. Listen to some Brian McKnight. You know what I mean? Some Earth, Wind and Fire. Release that, like, or even sometimes I still do this to this day. I call my boy E-Man up. I'm leaving work. I just call him up. You know what I mean? And that 25 minute ride home, just expressing myself throughout the day and what I'm dealing with, and that pressure,
Yeah.
just to another man. And he's like, yeah, I get it, bro. You know what I mean? But you good, man. Just, you straight. And I'm like, yeah, you right. And then do a little breathing exercise and walk into the crib. I do that now, even though nobody here, but the AC. I still I still do that now because, to your point, a lot of us have messed up our families because we're chasing things, but that doesn't mean you can't right your wrongs. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean you can't change the direction and the course, but you have to be able to say, you know what, let me stop and let me start practicing these little things so I can
Yeah.
regulate.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, most definitely. And it's a couple of things that I wanted to mention about the dysregulation, emotional dysregulation. At that is that there's two main types.
Mm,
Kind of mentioned the first one, but I want to just go more in depth on both of them. So the first one is overregulation. So
hmm,
this happens when someone suppresses or avoid emotions. Like I said, that's what men do.
yeah.
This actually ends up leading to emotional numbness or internalized stress. So, for example, a person may, let's say, a man bottles up his feelings, right, instead
Yeah.
of expressing them. Eventually, this is going to lead to anxiety, depression, burnout. So, how many times, bro? How many times have I heard this from a man? He's like, "Yo, he just don't know how to talk to his partner. Like, he doesn't know how to talk to her, so he just ends up suppressing everything. And then what ends up happening is a lot of the times he ends up cheating.
I was gonna say that. Yep.
A lot of times he ends up cheating. A lot of times he ends up with some sort of vice, heavily drinking, smoking. He ends up in those type of situations because of the overregulation.
Mm,
That's the first part. And then there's the underregulation. This happens when a person's emotional reactions are just excessive or out of proportion to the situation. Like I said, the punishment doesn't meet the crime. So
mm,
it's like some small inconvenience might cause an overwhelming emotional outburst like anger or crime.
mm.
Yeah, yeah,
I, that's yeah. I don't know. It's funny. A part of me is like, yeah, I ain't trying to be no bitch, but yeah, you start acting like a bitch. Your bitch assness comes out. You know what I mean?
the big darkness.
Bitch assness is like, bro, like it's okay because a lot of time, I understand it, and I say that with love because as men, we don't feel like we have when you can't talk to your partner, when you
Yeah,
feel like you can't talk to your partner,
yeah,
is really tough. I'm still part of a men's group, and one of the men was like, "Yo, I'm having a tough time in my marriage." They've been married like 10 years, and that 10-year mark is crazy.
yeah,
So he was like, "Man, I'm dealing with work. He didn't make as much money as he used to make, because of COVID, all these things, all that pressure you talk about." And I was like, "Bro, you got to lean into your woman." And he was like, "Oh, nah, man, she's gonna think I'm less of a man." I said, "No, the fact that you're doing this and hiding from her." That's when she thinks you're less of a man. You know what I
mm,
mean? That's when she's gonna lose respect for you because you're not you're not being a team player. I was like, bro, you need to go. You need to lay down with your woman. You need to put your head on her breast, and you need to just let it out. If you need to cry,
lay your head in between the twins.
in the twins, just go ahead and just let it go. Just let it go. I'd rather you do that than do that in the Asian massage parlor. You know what I mean? So, like, come on, like, but he was so scared.
Bro, I'm telling you,
Like
kid.
in the tech, he was terrified. I was,
Yeah.
yeah, and all the men was like, "Nah, you got to do it. I know it sounds crazy, but you got to do it." And it was funny because he did a test. He did a little bit, and he was like, "Yo, I appreciate you guys telling me that because all I did was give her a little bit of what I was dealing with," and he just said like, it's like she just, it's almost as if she was trying to rescue me in a healthy way. Like she was like, "Oh nah, babe, we got this. Like, don't worry." And I was like, "You see, like, come on, dog. Like, we got to do this more as men." But I get it. I understand a lot of us been hurt. We've been scorned. Some of us have never even been in a situation to be loved by a woman like that. You know, so it's hard for us to take that step, but you got to.
Yeah, man.
With that being said, bro, I love you.
I love you too. Until we pod again.
Teach me how to love.
Thank you so much for joining us. And remember, the man that says he can and the man that says he can't are both right. Which one are you?
Street cred was a major priority, and no respect for any authority. If you love school, you were in the minority. Can't be yourself, only way was conformity. In the dark, I prayed. In the jungle, Miami, where the lions huff a prey.